And we live, man. It's your boy Triple BLACK. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Shout out to the family, man. Everybody included, man. Include some of you. Actually, you know what? Minus them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna discount all ADOS people because I think a lot of people from that is for the right thing. I think some of you guys are in it for the right reason, and I can understand all that stuff. But man, you guys been compromised, man. Honestly, you've been compromised because there's a lot of people in your movement. You guys need to start doing some more vetting because some people need to uncross their nuts because you have a lot of undercover white supremacists that are in blackface, are part of your movement, and you can tell that by the rhetoric, man. Shout out to my boy Soul Traveler, man. Shout out to him. I saw Soul Traveler did a live, or no, he actually posted a video. It wasn't live, but he a lot of people had their nuts crossed because of what he posted and stuff like that, man. You can definitely tell, man. Some of you guys got your nuts really crossed about us, sticking up for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You probably used to, being able, like, you internalized a lot of the stuff that that master told you. You better obey him and stuff like that. You better be okay with being a second class citizen and shit like that. It's really not in our DNA to do such things. So, a lot of the stuff that you think that we just gonna, we just gonna be okay with. No, it's not. It doesn't go like that, brother. You know, some of you suckers got a lot of stuff get all twisted up about Haitian people in general. We fight back. You know what I'm saying? We don't lay down for anybody, and I think that's what you think. Some of you guys think that we're just gonna lay down and take the abuse. It's just not in our DNA to do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they say whatever the hell they want to say. They say disparaging things about us in general or whatever, and think we're gonna sit back and just be okay with it. Man, get out of here, man. Man, you got us all the way fucked up, man. Seriously. There's this one guy we call Jesse Lee Peterson. I can't remember what his name is on the thing, but he's a real bitch. Like, seriously, this dude had the audacity. This dude had the audacity to say that, you know, they feed us or somebody feeds us or some shit like that. We basically need to shut our mouth because they put uh, food in our mouth or whatever. And I resent that, man. I resent that big time because um, I've been holding my own. Me and Soul, our experience is probably a little bit different than the average immigrant. We're not immigrants, actually. I mean, we got to keep that in perspective. We were born in America, but our parents were, they were immigrants and stuff like that. Um, and the thing is, I think one of the disconnects that some of the people have, that are non-ADOS and ADOS, it's different perspectives. I tried to look at the different perspective, the y'all perspective, but you know what? I'm not even gonna lie about it. I mean, I'm a type of person that's like, fuck you. I mean, like, fuck me. No, it's fuck you. Like, that's just plain and simple. I don't really kiss ass. I don't lick boots. I don't do all that shit. If you gonna make some disparaging shit, say some, disparaging shit about my hardworking parents and my ancestors and shit like that. If it's fuck me, it's fuck you. Like, fuck that. I mean, there's no middle ground. There's really no understanding. My parents came to this motherfucking country, and they provided the best that they can for me. They gave me the opportunity, and anybody that wants to shit on that opportunity is fuck you. I mean, I don't know what to tell you about it. I've supported you know, your movement. I've supported everything that you have done. And then, you know what? I'm not going to be kissing nobody's ass, especially if somebody says something, you know, disparaging to me. And just like it is, if it's fuck me, fuck you too. That's basically what it is. I mean, there's no middle ground on that shit. You know, you ain't gonna desecrate on my fucking parents' graves and shit like that that work hard over here. First of all, all this notion that um, like some of you other fucking slaves and shit like that, act like did something, like we owe you something or some shit like that. We like our parents brought us to gave birth to probably us in this country, but I don't think they had the intention of us ever being second class citizens to anybody. Maybe they kind of be on their P's and Q's. But just like you and I didn't have no choice of being born over here. Just like your ancestors didn't have any choice of being born over here. I don't understand how you think that we're supposed to be on some second class shit. Like, oh, uh, this opportunity we shouldn't fucking take it. We shouldn't be. We should be. I guess we should be exempt for certain fucking opportunities. It's like we shouldn't compete. We shouldn't be successful just because you said like shit was set aside for you. Like get the fuck out of here, man. I really don't even get all that bullshit, man. Yeah, like stop that shit. Fucking stop that shit, man. That shit can. Jesse Lee Peterson shouldn't be taken seriously. Yeah, I know we're talking about some dude named that's on there. I forgot what his. I don't even know what his name is. It's like he's always making comments and shit like that about non-ADOS people and shit like that. That's why I say that a lot of these fuckers are like undercover white supremacists. They're undercover white supremacists, and they're using this movement as an opportunity to get at us. But it be mainly ain't shit ass people, that shit that really ain't got shit going on for their fucking life. And they're trying to use this opportunity to kind of get at immigrants and shit. But I lost my train of thought. What I was saying is, this talking point they always talking about, like, their tax dollars and all types of shit, is the reasons that, like, some black immigrants can come over here. But last time I fucking checked, this country is still ran by white supremacists. So are you saying that we should be thanking your fucking daddy that gave us political asylum? Because like for instance, like Haitians in the 80s and stuff like that came over here, and that was because of political asylum. United States felt like they had to give us political asylum because they came in, and occupied our country and fucked it up, and it's been giving us puppet leaders since then. So I mean, the tax dollars that you keep talking about, should we fucking thank white daddy for giving us political asylum for shit that they've done to our fucking country? How they, for the last 400 years, have they try to put a foot on our neck, and we're still fucking alive, still like 11 million people strong. So we be thanking them? Should we fucking be thanking them? You know what I'm saying? You talk about these tax. I mean, which is it? So you say you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. You keep saying that you fought for us to come over here, and just like this guy always saying that. We were brought over here to replace you. So you mean to tell me that you were fighting for people to come over here to replace you? Which is it? I mean, you can't have it fucking both ways, and think about it. There's you guys need to uncross your nuts and instead of keep telling us to hold our own nuts. You need to uncross your fucking nuts, because some of the bullshit that you guys are saying and spewing, man, comes straight from fucking white supremacy. I guess a lot of you fuckers been around your master too fucking long, and you are regurgitating the same shit that he fucking says to us or to you. You internalize that shit. I think that's what it is. The Caribbean folks has had their what is it called, CARICOM? I didn't even know anything about it. So this whole notion that we haven't been holding our own nuts. Sounds like you copied us or, try to hijack our movement. But since this CARICOM thing has been going on, which has been going on for fucking years, I mean, it looks like they were fighting for Africans uh, reparations worldwide. I don't think they made a distinction. I think, even though it was named after Caribbean folks, I think it's uh, I think um, I think it's for everyone, but I don't remember ever a time. I mean, I've watched some videos of them throwing African Americans under the bus, saying some bullshit about them. I've never heard of that. I mean, if anybody knows that other movement was about CARICOM, tell me, have they been throwing African Americans under the bus? And you ADOS, not all African Americans, but some of you undercover white supremacists in blackface are using this opportunity to grind, when you have an axe to grind with Caribbean and African folks. The 14th Amendment is for everyone. ADOS people promoting separatism yeah, of course. They've been, a lot of them have been too close to their daddy, and they've got a lot of their traits. And I'm not talking about everyone. I'm not talking about all ADOS. My wife is ADOS, so but I just been hearing some shit about holding your own nuts and those damn talking points, and it's a very sad thing is because we've got off track. I think in general, reparations at the very center of it is about repairing our community, and things like this, man, just go into our. I mean, I don't think it's good for anybody. I don't think it's good for anybody that we are at this place to where we have leaders or puppets or people that are clearly have some type of other agenda, because it doesn't make any sense that some people would go out of their way to make disparaging comments and just falsehoods, just spreading falsehoods. Every day when and the thing is, they say if you want to keep something from a Negro, you just put it in a book. You just fucking put it in a book. And I guess there's a lot of stuff um, that's in a book that's coming out. This whole notion that, uh, for instance, that this whole notion that Caribbean people and African people have never did anything to, I guess, to reciprocate. None of our countries have reciprocated, and that's patently false. That's patently false. I mean, there's that's bullshit. In Haiti, they've gave land and the freed slaves, for centuries. I just found out there's a people called they call them Americans. Those were freed slaves in what do you call it? In Trinidad and Tobago. Basically, they gave free slaves land to start their own establishment over in Trinidad and Tobago. You can look that up to the history. I mean, I guess you can have his story, but you can't rewrite history. You can tell whatever story you want to, but it's not there. I mean, you can't erase Sierra Leone. You can't erase what do you call it? Liberia. You can't erase those things. So that talking point is a moot point, because I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of them off the coast of Dominican Republic. There was another land that they gave ex-slaves from America to rebuild, like their own stuff, and a lot of these motherfuckers went back. So that whole thing needs to stop. And it was like you could chew gum and walk at the damn same time. I don't know why you had to to try to find a way to pick on us. You know what I'm saying? Black immigrants, a person that is closest to you. and if you do our DNA, we're freaking from the same goddamn place. The person that are closest to you, that's almost like family. And you wanted to separate and outcast and ostracize us, and you think you're gonna get away with that shit. Free, oh yeah, free schooling in Cuba. I got to look up that. Yeah, any black person I think that wants to be a doctor, they can go right to Cuba and um, and get free education. And they have one of the elite medical programs or medicine in the world. If you look at Cuba, the AIDS rates and those type of cancer. I mean, I think they even have a cure for lung cancer. But grade A, but it's right there. Castro has fought to liberate, black people all over the planet, and it's not been reciprocated. Granted, he was a Spaniard white guy. I mean, I guess, but I'm sure he probably had some type of blood in him that was that's black. But anyways, I mean that's beside the point. And you use us for an scapegoat when you have sanctuary cities all around the United States that have illegal immigrants that were brought here to replace you. That's why it made it illegal. But you want to pick a fight with people from the Caribbean, people from Nigeria, and stuff like that. People that look like you. Come on, man, you uncross your nuts. We've been holding our own nuts, man. So all this credit that you're looking for about you fighting. I want to find some fucking evidence. I want to find, you tell me what your equivalent of Marcus Garvey was. You tell me what your equivalent of those Haitian generals are that went and fought in different wars to free your black ass. I want you to find the equivalent of those people. Don't use no, Malcolm X or anything like that because you can't really use him. You can't really use Louis Farrakhan. You can't use Marcus Garvey. You can't use a lot of even people in your educational system. You can't even use that. Was it W.E.B. Du Bois or whatever? You can't use him. I mean, I mean, I can't believe we even talking about this stuff right here, man. But you uncross your nuts. And because some of you guys are using some real bitch ass beta male talking points, man. If you can get what you deserve off the strength of that. You don't have to use other people as scapegoats to get that. And I feel like a lot of you people are using that stuff, man. And you can see in the comments and stuff like that. I mean, this is social media, I guess. I mean, it shouldn't be taken seriously, but there's really no understanding. I don't really have any understanding. I don't cop deuces, especially when a person goes and slaps me and then thinks I'm just going to, lay down. I don't lay down for anybody. It's not in our DNA to do that. That's why you had, an island full of people that was just like, man, fuck that. We're not giving you free labor. We're not succumbing to second class status. It's just not gonna happen. And I think some of you guys got a twist to think we're scared or some shit. The fuck we scared of? You know what I'm saying? You sat there and let Trump say some disparaging shit about us, and you ain't fucking say anything about that shit. You low key agreed with him. So if it's fuck us, no, it's fuck you too. So how about that? I'm through. I'm through copping deuces. You know, hey, if you want me to support you in your movement, I mean, you got my goddamn support. But I'm not for that kissing ass and groveling. If you expect me to do that, I mean, you got another thing coming. And let's just set the record straight, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Let's keep facts as facts. Like, none of this emotional garbage and shit like that. It looks like I got a thumbs down from somebody. I don't even know why, but they didn't like what I was saying. I didn't even use your hashtag. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I can make a phone call real quick. Um, we'll make a phone call. Let me see. My boy Soul Traveler is in the building. You know, we've been chopping it up. We've been talking about this whole thing. Let's see. Conference. Oops. You got to give respect to get respect back, plain and simple. Fuck yeah, you're right. You got to give respect. If you own some disrespectful shit, you know, I don't respect that old pussy ass shit anyways. How you gonna, you know, I respect people that stand on what they have to say. I mean, you freaking throw a stone and then you wanna
Hello.
you know, hide your hand. Hey man, hey Soul man, I know you working, man. I got you a conference in, man. I'm going live right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get some of your opinions, man, on some of this fuckery that we've been dealing with online with some of these ADOS people, these clowns, you know, some of these white supremacists and blackface, man. What you got to say about these pussies?
That's exactly what they is. You look at what they're saying and why they're saying it, and the two don't add up. You know,
Right.
it's like the movement was created to create like a segregation and attack on the black population, especially the minority black population, which is only 10% of the native black population.
Yeah.
So it's I'm doing my master's will while black.
Right.
So that's what it is: white supremacy and blackface.
Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, she's right, man. Somebody's in the chat. I can't remember. He's like the most defiant slaves were kept in the West Indies, and the best behaved or broken in slaves were shipped to the U.S. Is that what it is, man? I mean, I mean, don't they know the history of like people, especially in the West Indies, man? We're fighters, dog. I mean, I don't know why would they want to pick a fight with us.
Oh, you know, that'd be a big mistake. That would be a big mistake. Black ADOS or African Americans only make up 40 million people
Mm-hmm.
of the black population. The black population is global. It's surpassed 1 billion people. So you're only 40 million. In the grand scheme of things, you're not even a percentage point. So probably 4% maybe, or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
math comes out to be. But it's not going to end well for them.
Right.
It's not going to end well
But
for
I'm just saying, listen to this. I mean, I know like people like to talk out of both sides of their mouth, but you know, make some sense of this. At one side of their mouth, they're saying that they fought for us to come in. On the other side of their mouth, they're saying that we were brought in to replace them. You know, what sense does that make right there?
them. That's the white supremacy part. Truth is whatever they say, even though it's contradicting. But this is the narrative. They want to create the narrative. They want to create, because this is all emotional. This is an emotional argument. So I have to say the things that are going to rile up my people, because my people are stupid. Anyone who believes what these people are saying, you have to be clinically stupid. So, and that's what it is. You know, you could talk out of both sides. They could talk out of all three sides of their mouth. And, you know, people will believe it. They'll eat it up.
Mm-hmm.
1 minute they'll say this, or even in the same sentence, they'll contradict themselves about why black immigrants are here. And everyone's angered about it because it has to be true.
And the whole thing is another talking point is like they put food in our mouths and they're putting foods in our mouth and stuff like that. What I'm just saying is it's like what black group is able to give political asylum, especially if you said you've been disenfranchised for this long and you don't have any political power, but somehow you say that you had enough power to fight for us to get over here. And now, and you know, that was one of the biggest arguments that they were talking about. That they fought for us to come over here. But I'm just saying, is do they have political? I mean, they have the ability to offer political asylum, because last time I checked, one of the reasons that they let you know, say for instance, Haitians over here is because they realized that they, first of all, they had a vested interest in Haiti because they occupied Haiti militarily, and they knew that they gave us puppet governments and messed up our economy for centuries. You know, so they offered us political asylum just to kind of be quiet about it. And the other thing was is what if you gave us food and you know, kind of fed us and kept us afloat, what industry did you own that, you know, that you kept us employed with? Tell me those two things. I dare any ADOS person to tell me those two things about Haitian immigrants. I can only speak for ourselves.
I mean, you can't accuse someone of taking something from you and then say you gave them something. Like, there goes another contradiction, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't accuse, oh, we're taking up all of these, you know, these government resources and just swiping them off the gravy train this, gravy train that, when you yourself are fighting for your own civil rights.
Right.
Like, if you're not in a position to hand anything out, or even to make, like, well, they do make legislation because they are responsible for they are responsible for sanctioning Haiti and Africa. Black politicians are. So, you know, when you pull back the covers on this thing, man, it's gonna look real ugly. This hate ain't nothing new. This white supremacy and blackface ain't nothing new.
So, so if they sanction us, you know, basically they sanction colonialism, basically, in our countries. Is that what you're?
That's correct.
So the black politicians actually, so it was a trick bag for us. So we were tricked, basically. So they basically sanctioned colonialism and imperialism in our country, and robbed us in all their resources, you know, a lot of the resources. So we should blame Black Americans for that shit, right?
Well, you can't take all the credit for this country and then say you had nothing to do for the credit for the power and strength it has. You know, it's either one or the other. If America's great and we come over here, we steal resources, then it's you who helped America gain these resources. One or the other. One or the other, you can't claim both.
So is this like the 80-20 rule in effect, like the 10%? I mean, actually, this is a 10-90 rule, because they're saying that 10% of us, which we make of the black population, which are immigrants, are taking 90% of the resources. Is that what they're saying? I mean, let's just be clear that, I mean, we have to be a dynamic and great people if we're able to steal or basically finesse 90% of the benefits that were set aside for them. And we're not even, I mean, in most cases, I mean, only 24% of us are going to college, and probably even less than half of us speak the language. So what does that say about those people then?
You know, when you actually try to prove these statistics, these numbers that they're accusing us of doing, it just doesn't show. You can't find where this is true. It's unrealistic. So we're back to the white supremacy talking points. It's like attack, 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 create narrative, attack, 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 create narrative. Because you will always find a group of stupid people to support what you're saying, especially if they're already bad. That master didn't give them a bigger piece of the pie.
Okay. So So I mean, I guess I want to ask, and you know, any ADOS people, you know, you can come in there. I guess we what the right thing for us should have done when we, you know, when our parents immigrated to this country. Should we have just like just sat there and became a drain on society? Is that what we the right thing for us to do? You know?
Well, we were going to be blamed regardless, no matter which route we took. If we chose to lift up the black community, the native black community, if we chose to lift them up, we would be accused of being non-performers. We'd be accused of being welfare leeches. We would be accused. We're going to be accused of something, you know, because they're mad. They need someone to blame, but they're not going to blame the people who they're asking for money from. So it's a 2020. It's a catch 22, man. So, uh,
You know, you know me because me and you are first generation. Me and you are first generation.
right.
I guess at what generation do we get, you know, some credit for making contributions to we won't even call it black society anymore because we're not black anymore. I don't know, maybe we're just we'll just call it non-ADOS. Like, you know, all the contributions that we make because I don't know, you know, where is there a
Hello?
separate category? Is there a separate category for Caribbeans and stuff when it comes to the economy? Like, do we have our own separate category? Like, this 1.3 trillion dollars that's being spent, um, that's being spent out there, and you know, a lot of the wealth. They say that we own a lot of the wealth. Uh, should we deserve any credit for some of that spending power, or is it are we exempt from that? That's a question that I
Well,
have. I mean, because we, you know, we don't. We're just a drain. We're not helping anything. We're not, you know, we're not contributing. We're just leeching. We're just piggybacking off of people. I mean, is that part of the 1.3 that's being spent? Is it us spending that, or is it just whatever?
we're stealing all of the government resources, but we're not contributing to the overall total percentage and spending power of black folks because definitely we would be accused of, you know, part of those numbers. This is all them again. This is the when you're controlling the narrative, you don't need facts. You just need points, talking points, which will make the other side, which will make their supporting side mad.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You need a group of angry people. You need talking points. You need to control the narrative, and this is what they're doing. This is straight up fair and balanced Fox News 101.
So they've learned from their master basically. How come I haven't learned that? I mean, I maybe I was born. I've been in this country for 38 years, but I've never ever had the temptation to turn on my own people. So I guess what was I'm just trying to figure out what was different about my upbringing, or is it just the segment of of the ADOS that has the loudest voices and it pretty much paints a bad picture. I mean, in my opinion, of all ADOS people, is it just a few? You know, some of the entertainers like the Yvette Carnells and the Tone Talks and the Tariq Nasheeds, or do you think this is a general consensus between all of them?
This is well, you know, it's some say you need 10% of the population to believe something for the majority for the remainder to follow, but when you have a higher percentage of stupid people, you don't need that 10% anymore. You need a lot less. So, you know, you just got your drum beaters and you got people who want money without having to actually do physical labor for. So they're already at a disadvantage, and the possibility of earning 1 year's pay, right? We'll just call it one equivalent to 1 year's pay in free money. Well, why not go against your own or people who look like you? Because we can't be their people because Haiti never did anything for them technically in the past, according to them. This is a talking point because anyone who understands history and research would know that Haiti has tried to bend over backwards to assist African Americans, but that doesn't go to the narrative of ADOS. So they're just going to erase that from history.
Okay, I got you, Ben. Man, you know what, man? You know what? So I'm not gonna say everybody's stupid, though, because I know you got your own sentiment. I disagree with that because at the end of the day, my wife is 18 West. So, but let's just call it misinformed, easily hoodwinked,
ignorant. We'll say ignorant. You have a higher ignorant population that don't follow the truth. I didn't say everyone was stupid, but I just said you have a higher majority of stupid people than, I mean, seriously, when you don't operate in logic, when you operate out of emotions only, men are not designed to be like that. There's nothing someone should be able to tell you to piss you off because those are just words, logically speaking. But when you get mad at a group of people off of words and they've never done anything physically to you, and you get mad at them, then you have to qualify as stupid and ignorant. Or I'm gonna just say stupid because words can't hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Man, so. I mean, the thing is like, I mean, I remember I was sitting there and thinking that luckily I did luck out because, I'm a first generation Haitian. I mean, a Haitian. I'm not going to say Haitian American, but, a lot of the stain of what they're talking about being a descendant of the slave, I think kind of missed me in a way because I kind of look at the world different. One thing I do agree about them, that the stain of the prison industrial complex, the Jim Crow, those type of things have really done real damage generationally to a lot of people. And I think that is one of the distinct differences. So I will give them a lot. I mean, not credit, but I will agree with them on that because I guess our mentality is way different, and that's one of the distinct differences. So I think the slavery part of it has done really, really irreparable harm to a certain population. So I mean, you can tell. You know what? They're absolutely right about the psychological damage, because the psychological damage has really damaged it to where it can convince you to attack a person that's even supposed to be lower than you on a totem pole. You know what I'm saying? A person that's from a third world country, you have people from the third world country, and you still look at them and blame them from the third world country, for stealing their resources. So that damage is really hard. And the psychological damage explains the wealth gap. That explains why it's not that they don't have the resources or have access to the resources. It's the psychological damage has made it to where they don't know how to take advantage of the resources. And that's one of the distinct differences. And I think that's I don't know if white supremacy is set up that way. Maybe they did understand, if we do bring these other people in that don't have the stain of slavery, that don't have this mindset, maybe they'll maybe they'll fight with each other, over the crumbs.
As a man, I cannot make excuses. I cannot make excuses for any position that I am. I have to own up and be a man. So now, yes, they were disenfranchised, but let's be honest. Let's look at Jim Crow.
Right.
Let's look at the civil rights movement. This was an attempt for black people for white people to find them emotion. This was an emotional attempt for them to be equal with white folks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why should I care how white people view me? That was integration. This was me fighting to be equal with white people. Straight out of slavery, generations out of slavery, not even multiple generations, even one generation out of slavery, black folks were fighting to be equal with white folks.
Right.
Like that to me, that's insane.
Right.
Because you cannot teach a group of people morality, that you cannot show them something, especially if they view you beneath them.
Right.
So this is where the suffering came from, because let's be honest, black folks did great out of slavery. They had Tulsa, Oklahoma. They had Rosewood. They owned it. They had businesses.
Right.
This was before the civil rights movement. So what happened? Black folks did good out of slavery, and then you got the Jim Crow and the civil rights movement. What happened in between then? Because they did good, then everything hit the fan.
Right.
And now they're in this position now. So
right. So this person in here says, like, you know, 3 Caribbean is already working in its own reparation. So why are you mad at? I mean, it's like it's like talking into a brick wall. It's like a person. It's like why are you mad at ADOS? I'm like, listen, these people. It doesn't make any damn sense, dog. So they take a big rock, right? They punch you. I mean, they hit you in the face with the rock, right? And then when you be like, why the hell did you hit us in the face with a goddamn rock? You know, and then they were like, oh, what do you mean? I didn't throw no rock. What do you mean I didn't throw no damn rock? You know, I didn't throw no rock at all. It's like, why are you mad? Like, you just hit me in the face with a damn rock. I mean, the xenophobic, he's like, yeah, they're mad at the I mean, like, how can you, like, that's the frustrating part of it. It's like they act like they didn't say anything, that they didn't use us as a step stool or something like that to get their agenda across. I mean, Caribbeans are making these. She says her point. Caribbeans are making more in America than African Americans. The third, the cab driver from Haiti that doesn't speak any English is making more than a native person, and they're looking at us. Like, I don't know what Haitian person comes over here to sit on the bench and to be a second-class citizen. So I guess, like, we should have sat on our hands and been like, and just waited. And then there would have been another problem. There would have been like, oh, you know what? You guys are leeching off the government. You know, that is the craziness behind the whole thing. Is somehow we are. I mean, I don't know. We should have just came over here. I mean, my parents shouldn't have came over here at all. That's basically what they're saying.
Our parents would not have came here if they didn't need to.
Right.
Right. If the government was stable and the economy was good, which would not have made America as great as it is, which ADOS wants to take credit for, but it siphoned resources and energy from other countries, other nations.
Right.
So we're just following the resources that you took from our country, and we're following those resources, and it's landed us here in America.
That's another story. That's another story. This person, Wigs and Wine TV, says that Yvette Cornell and Tone Talk's videos statistically say that we make more. I guess, okay, that's true. Okay, if that is a true statement, I guess what the fix is, I mean, you're absolutely right. The stain of slavery, the fact that you went through slavery and you went through those type of things have made like you so messed up that you can't outperform third, was it third world immigrants. So that is a problem that I guess the third world immigrants need to do. I guess what you're saying is, just like Ann Coulter says, that we need to kind of roll back our rights. We need to kind of roll back ourselves. We need to kind of step back and take a back seat and be like, hey guys, you guys need to step in front of us. And I guess that will fix the issue.
Here it goes. If black immigrants make more than them, so what? Like, so what? Like,
no, they're saying that there's a separate category for like black immigrants, like our dollar. I guess because we live in certain places, we're kind of circulating the dollar like they should be doing, and it's kind of making it. Hold on, we got another thing. They're not saying that. They're saying that ADOS built the country. We caught. I mean, we caught for. I guess she's trying to say you caught hell for affirmative action and civil rights, but immigrants came and benefited immediately of what we fought for.
Let me say this right quick. ADOS exists because they fought for civil rights. How do you have a thriving community called Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, in the 1920s? You're thriving, but then you're fighting for civil rights, decades later. Make that make sense. Like, if you guys stayed with segregation, it would be easy for black immigrants to make up their mind on where they want to live. I'm going to go live around people who look like me. Then you guys can show us the ropes. But you chose not to do that. You chose for the white man to show us the ropes because you chose integration. So you cannot blame black immigrants on what they do when they come to America because you put that responsibility in the hands of the white man when you could have taken it up yourself and you could have done it yourself.
Right. So it's the affirmative action thing, like a year or two ago, lesbians in the LGBT community, they co-opted it. White women had co-opted it. You remember them? They were they were the problem of affirmative action. But now, I guess they did some more studies. They found out black immigrants are actually the people that are taking advantage of affirmative action even more. So I guess because now the black community or the ADOS people are still on the tit of white supremacy or white feminism, they are no longer to blame. Now it's that need, like somehow the white power structure has convinced them that the white power structure, which is headed by the white supremacist woman, that elected Trump basically, in the LGBT community, like which they were I guess a sworn enemy. Now they have convinced them that we are the problem. And I see how they were able to do that through the rhetoric of their leader, which is an LGBT person, which makes sense now.
Yeah, I constantly hear how the leader of ADOS loves black men, is always talking in support of them. Listen, your sexuality speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Your sexuality speaks volumes. I don't care what you say. I'm more focused on what you do. Mm-hmm. And when I see that you reject the anatomy of a man and you're a woman, that's all I need to know. And for the masters,
this person in here said that, and I gotta laugh at this. Now it's they're saying that the Caribbeans didn't include ADOS in their lawsuit, so I guess we didn't include them. So so were we telling them to hold their own nuts, that we don't want to be in their affairs or something like that? Do as I say and not as I do. So I'm a little bit confused. So the Caribbean or CARICOM movement has probably been on way longer than the ADOS. Now, so it is. So basically, what she's saying is this is retaliation because the Caribbeans did not include the ADOS people in their reparations lawsuit. So now they're doing the same thing as us. So there's basically tit for tat. Can I draw that conclusion or not? He said they told us to hold our own nuts by not including us. I gotta study this before. I mean, I guess so. I really, it's not retaliation. So what it is? Okay. These third world countries that are trying to get in your position is telling you to hold your own nuts. That makes a lot of damn sense. That we would not want to include one of the most powerful group of Negroes on the face of this earth.
This is what I don't like, right? This is what I don't like.
You can create whatever narrative that you want to. I mean, it doesn't even make any damn sense. It really doesn't make any sense. Like I was listening to the CARICOM thing, and I was listening to the guy talk. I mean, it sounds like he was talking about African people. He kept talking about African people. I don't think he made a clear distinction of what type of African people that he was talking about. You know, but I guess you can make whatever justification that you want to. If you want to be mad, you know how like you know you're not married, but you know how like you know you're with a woman, and she's that time you know time of the month where she wants to be mad about something. Right. She wants to be mad about something, and she'll make every justification in her mind to be mad about it. It doesn't even matter. Like if you turn on the water, it'd be like, oh, you turned on the water too long. Oh, I'm pissed off about it. I mean, that's just basically what it is. So this is kind of childish. This is kind of a childish banter back and forth that we're going through. So I think it's probably time for us to exit it and just focus on other things because it's kind of exhausting because it gets nowhere. It really gets nowhere.
There's Wigs and Wine TV said we only get 10% or less of affirmative action. Note, even though it was originally for ADOS. Wigs and Wine, let me tell you something. If it was for you, then why are you not the only one benefiting from it? You can't, that's like saying America was for me, but there's other people here in America. Show me where it's only for ADOS in the law, and I will believe you. You just can't make up things. You have to stop that. This means you guys need to start being intellectually honest. And when you say things like a law was made for you without providing any proof, it doesn't look right on your back.
No, you know what it is? It's this thing that I think me and you are so confused because you got to understand the mentality. Right. The two people that have been together the longest is you have the slave master and the slave. They have a code that they live by and they talk that we will never understand. We will never ever understand their relationship, you know, because when the slave master or the slave master's, you know, wife or whatever tells them something, this has been passed on from generation to generation. They believe them. When Ann Coulter goes out there and tells them and gives them white validation that these primitive people, these third world people are stealing your resources, they believe them. They believe them. You know, like Fox News tells them the Mexicans, you know, even though you have way more spending power than the Mexicans, even though you been in this country, you're more educated than the Mexicans have more power than you. And if you can enslave a person's thoughts like that to the where they even know in the world that they're still a person, a human, they still live in that paradigm that they're three-fifths of a human. And I don't think that is something that we can understand because me as a black person, I think I'm human. I think I deserve all the rights. Something in them tells them, you know what, you have to work for those rights. You don't automatically get those rights because we had to fight for we just had to fight to be, considered, three-fifths of a human. And you're gonna come in here and think that you're a human right away? What the hell's wrong with you? Like, no, you got to pay your dues. You got to. You got to. You have to do more than what your parents did. I know they were scrubbing dishes and stuff like that, but you know what? You should not be able to go in the front of the line. You need to stay back. You need to stay back. You need to pay your dues. But they don't understand that the same thing that we went through, that they went through, through slavery, we went through the same thing, and we've done it. It's documented that we went through it. Our ancestors went through it longer. They went through it longer, but because we were able to break the chains, we have a different mentality than them. So I'm reading in between the lines. They're telling us that we need to start acting like we're three-fifths of a human. Like we're too uppity. We need to be less than them. That's the only interpretation that I'm taking, and that's why the angst.
Well, we bit off more than they thought we should have. We overachieved. We went beyond what they wanted us to go for. And so that's just what it is. You niggas are making too much money. When you start to calculate it percentage wise to see who makes more money, I think first of all, let's look to see who is allowed. What is the process required for you to even get a visa to come to America, much less to be allowed to get some residence here in America?
Mm-hmm.
You already have to be a high achiever.
Mm-hmm.
America's not going to give visas in residence to low earning or poor people in other countries. They're just not going to do that.
Yeah, they're
going for performers.
Right, they go for performers. But a guy from the Jamaica said the other day, I was listening to a show. One of their points of contentions, or what they're mad about, was that the fact that African countries and things like that don't offer dual citizenship, and for the people that have an agenda, they muddy the waters on purpose on that shit, for a reason. They want to blame it on the African countries, but but it's not. It's not true. It's very disingenuous. You have a bunch of disingenuous Negroes. But anyways, they said like America makes it to where it's almost impossible to get dual citizenship, because soon as you leave the country for 6 months, you can't leave the country for more than 6 months. And most countries require that you have to be there for like a year and working on a visa. So because the United States has it set up that way, it's basically impossible to get dual citizenship. It's crazy how they want people, like, they want countries to give them dual citizenship, and they kind of want to be pushed up in the front of the line. They want what to happen to first of all,
am I missing something? You are telling me that African Americans want dual citizenship when
no, they just want they want other governments to push a button and give them dual citizenship.
No, I understand that part, but us who have Haitian parents or parents from
Took my mom 20
other
years.
countries I don't even have dual citizenship.
No, you
I
can't.
only have an American citizenship, and my parents are from Haiti.
Exactly.
So they want special privileges more better than what we have.
It's a white supremacist, imperialist, colonialist in their blood. That's what it is. You know, that's what it is. It's a white supremacist, colonialist in their blood. Like we should be able to go and do whatever the hell we want to in wherever. You know,
right?
like
well, I'm supposed. If that's the case, where's my Haitian passport?
right.
Where's mine? I don't have one.
Right. And you know, and it took my mom 20 years to get. She had political asylum, but it almost took her 20 years just to get permanent residence. You know, she had to go through that whole process. But you know, it is what it is, man. I want ADOS to get reparations. I just asked to do without disrespecting my people or other blacks and even themselves. You know what? I don't even think it's about reparations anymore. I think the reparations part of it is a convenient talking point. I think what it is just like I think it's closer to white supremacy. I think it's just to be closer to white supremacy. I think that's what it is. I think they would trade because if you think about it, if you have $400,000 in some land, it's almost like equivalent to being white. And I think because they keep talking about the check, the check, the check. Reparations is about repairing your community. It's about reparations. It's about repairing, and you're focused on the mighty dollar and just the check. That almost makes me to think that it's not about repairing. It's almost, you know, nigga, we made it. Like nigga, we made it. Like now we can live in a white neighborhood. Now we can, you know what I'm saying? Yvette Carnell has a whole other agenda. I mean, I figured that out. You know, I think that, I mean, her whole thing is it's just a vendetta. I think her lifestyle.
It's not about reparations.
No,
it's not about reparations.
No. She has an axe to grind. I think with just just Africans in general. I just think that she just has an axe to grind with Africans because they're not as accepting as of their lifestyle. I think that's what it is. They're not accepting of her lifestyle, so she's trying to make it something it's not.
I could understand that, but how do you get a majority of or a large amount of black folks in America to accept the same ideology? That's what I can't comprehend.
No, I don't. I really don't think that they accept the same ideology. I don't think that they're as xenophobic. I don't think that. I think because you know when you talk about somebody and when somebody wants something and they've been deprived of it for a long time, and then you just like every other sentence you say money or dollar, they focus on the dollar. They're not really listening to what else you say. So long as they think that there is a paycheck or some type of money or monetary gain at the end of it, I think that's all that they're caring. Because I really don't, because it doesn't make any sense, because the ideology that you know from her was our enemy, you know, a couple weeks ago. You know, this whole American identity for most black folks was not a thing that we were proud of. You know, you had the coons. The only people that really liked that whole ideology of being draped in the flag and all that was the coons. You know, anti-African, just black or whatever was the coons. So that's what it is, man. Let me see. Ann Coulter people are German, Irish immigrants. Her people are able to acquire wealth here. Why does she care about ADOS again? Because I think you hit it, because she's Irish. If she's Irish and she can get you to identify as property, as slaves, then I think probably at the end of the day, she's going to turn around and be like, what about Irish people? They were slaves too. You know, what about Irish people? They were slaves too. I need that check too. So that might, I mean, they play chess. So if they can get you the pawn, the ADOS pawn, you know, to take out like out everybody else's pawn, and they sit back. I mean, first of all, the money's going to go to them, and plus they're going to be able to get some of the money too. So it's a great strategic play. You know, it's a great strategic play. If we can get the Mexicans and them people out of the way, we can use black people, which built this country, and you know they built this country. They help us build this country. Let's use them a couple more times. You know, they still have some tread on those tires. I guess you have a point because when I hear them talk, it's only about attacking immigrants instead of talking about constructive ways to repair their situation. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is because if it was about immigrants, then then we would be marching in the streets about illegal sanctuary cities. But they don't have any smoke for them at all. Just like if it was about affirmative action, they would be marching in the streets about the gay community, the white women that are taking advantage of most of the affirmative action stuff. So they don't have any smoke for them. They have smokes for black immigrants. So it's not about that. It's just this European idea that they want to get closer to. They want to get closer to massa, basically. Yeah, you're right. And they made a good point. Asians, Europeans, and Arab immigrants acquire vast amounts of wealth. Why no smoke for them? They have way. I mean, name a broke Asian. I can't. A broke Arab, huh? You heard me? Can you really think of a broke Arab, a broke Asian?
Black people in America will, and not just Adolf, all black people, because we love giving away our money. We'll guarantee that none of them go broke. You know, that's we just love spending our money and giving it to other folk. Um, you know, when you have a culture, you somewhat are able to maintain uh, uh, somewhat of a financial circle. But if you don't have your walls all the way built up, then it can only do so much of good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
I've never seen I've never seen a homeless Asian in the streets, and I live in LA, which has the highest rate of homelessness. I don't even know. I don't know. You know, it is very easy to. I mean, I guess that is one of the what do you call it? The Achilles heel of an African. I mean, African. It's our tribalism. You know how it's easy to segment each other and attack each other. You know, I'm sure. You know, even in the one movement that they have, I don't know what the nuances of the movement of the CARICOM movement. I wonder if Haitians were fighting Jamaicans over reparations, but I don't know if that. You know, I wouldn't be so fast to think that there was that was so unified itself. So I don't know. Maybe the ADOS they figured, hey, you know what? Let's stir the water, and you know maybe we'll get them fighting each other. You know, because once they unify, eventually one of them is going to start acting like us. Is that what it is?
what are you saying?
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get us to unify. Maybe it's a trick. They want to get us unified, and next thing you know, we're gonna fight each other, and then they can kind of just sneak in there and grab their reparations. Is that because the white supremacists? You can't underestimate them, boy. They are a master at controlling us. That's one thing that you can't deny, that they are a master at controlling us. They are great at controlling us, like, you know, getting us to basically do whatever the hell they want to do, you know. And especially in America, man, you know, we'll just dangle a carrot in front of this group, you know, They dangled the carrot in front of black women, you know, in the '60s and shit like that with welfare, and look what the fuck happened. You see what happened?
We just got to be honest, man.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you don't have physical change on your body, your current state is it's more your fault. You know, no matter all of the laws white people make to disenfranchise us. I mean, you have to learn from your past experiences. You have to. I mean, how many black-owned companies you know manufacture guns or ammunition? We don't even do that. We do
Mm-hmm.
DNA testing. They say Africa in Need is a black-owned company, which I heard it's not. We don't even do our own DNA testing. We don't do anything. We cannot complain of our current condition because I'm talking about black people worldwide. We don't do anything for ourselves. Nothing. Nothing. Until we start to build infrastructure or I'm not talking about just owning a construction company. I'm talking about having our own bank. I spoke to this lady. She was from Honduras, right? She said during the recession here in America, she went to her home country, got a loan from the Honduras bank to buy houses that were here for dirt cheap. You
Really?
know, like yes, yes. She loaned money from a foreign government, a foreign corporation to buy property here in America. And so this is we are not doing for we are not doing for ourselves.
Mm-mm.
African Americans, I mean, this is the most richest, richest place of black folks in the world, and we're not doing anything worldwide. Well, we're here in America. We could make a plan to do business with our native motherland, Haiti, but we're
Mm-hmm.
not. So I mean, we at the end of the day, we have no one to blame but ourselves because if you took a snapshot of our financial situation compared to everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's Asians here in America, but they have China. They have all of these other countries that just they operate. You know, when's the last time we heard of Africa loaning money to any of European countries? You don't hear of that. We don't hear of that.
No.
And we have to change that.
No, it's but you got to also understand the difference between money and resources. Like Africans should never ever give any money to any. I mean, first of all, European countries, America, and all that stuff can never ever repay Africa from the resources that it's stolen from them. Not in just the minerals, but the people. Just imagine the intellectual capital that they steal from Africa just in Nigeria alone, probably. You know, there's a reason those brothers are outperforming a lot of Americans when it comes to schooling and stuff like that. You know, there's a reason why. And imagine the ingenuity, the human capital, like just the intellectual property that they're bringing to America, and we're just not recognizing that shit. Imagine, you know, in the European countries, you know how many Nigerians that they have, and those guys are a cut above when it comes to performing in school. Those are smart brothers. I mean, I'm sure there's other smart classes, but you know, those are the people that they really let us know about. But just in resources, man, like diamonds, gold, there should never be a what you call a loan out of Africa. There shouldn't be ever.
Well, as far as I mean, I understand what you're saying, but as far as business, we don't do these type of businesses. I have no problem doing businesses with European countries as long as it's strengthened and it's on it works out positively on behalf of Africa or
Hmm.
any black nation because I mean, to get to where you need to be at, you're gonna have to take some steps, man. You're gonna have to take the steps, and it's a gradual chance to get there. Like even fighting for reparations, when that's the reparations, if it's when it's finally received, I mean, this is this is years down the road. This is not next year. This is not even in 5 years. This is not even in 10 years. You have to see there's a lot of legwork to be done after that. So I mean, and we're fighting. Well, ADOS is fighting for what we'll say $1 trillion, $2 trillion. You spend that in a year, in 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
in 1 year. You don't need reparations. I seen a clip that Brother Umar Johnson had. He has to be validated by them. You
Mm-hmm.
know, this is symbolic. This is all symbolic. It's like, hey, I need you to give me the permission to be something in life, to at least restore my ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sick mentality.
Yeah. I know you're working, so I'm glad that you were on here for a while, man. I got to get some work done, but Ben, but I mean, it's I don't know, man. I'm kind of over the I'm over defending myself. I mean, it is. I'm just. They are right that slavery has definitely messed up the mentality. It's like I just hope that maybe because when when they say that when you get in the mud with a pig, you end up becoming a pig also. I don't. I think I need to stop getting in the mud because I think at some point I'm gonna start to shift into that paradigm thing where I'm thinking that myself. And I don't think that's not worth it, dog. It's just not worth it. It's really not worth it because let's just look at the Indians for instance, man. I use them as a prime example. Everybody thinks that they are milk and honey, but if you have you ever been to a reservation? Have you ever seen the state like those people are in? I used to work at a bank, man. This lady used to get $10,000 at the beginning of the month and she was broke by the end of 2 weeks every month, every single month on a consistent basis. You know where she used to take? She used to take her money as soon as she wanted it in cash. She would go to the casino pretty much every day, thinking that she was going to win. I was like, if you're in a reservation, you get a free house, you get all that stuff.
That,
What is it to win?
that's
And
her reparations money.
right,
That's it. This is what people do with reparations. Unearned money, they spend it. Like at least I would wish for ADOS to create a financial institution before they would even get the check because they can mature it into something magnificent.
right.
But if you're not ready for that money yet, you need to stop asking for it.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, it's just like money. It magnifies everything that you already are. So if you are a nigga, you're just going to even become a bigger nigga. If you're a coon, you're going to become a bigger coon. If you're a trick, you're going to trick off even more. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I think the right thing, and I wish some of these black leaders will step up and come because they're the whole. I mean, I don't even know if there's a black agenda anymore. They need to have a black agenda.
There is
And
reparations.
but reparations but they've distorted what reparations is. Reparation is fixing your educational system, fixing
Right.
the
Right.
prison industrial complex. That whole mentality. fixing the prison, was it pipeline to prison
Right.
thing, fixing all these things that's plagued our community. That's what reparations is. People think that reparations is this big fat check. I mean, you may get this, this 40 acres and a mule, but the 40 acres and a, well, the thing about it is maybe the white supremacist was like, man, you know what? If we give these niggas 40 acres and a mule, they may kill each other. Do you think that might have what happened? I mean, I'm trying to think of, because they promised it and it went to court and then they just never gave it. Did you think that they really felt like, because I don't really think that they were afraid of the slave. I really don't think that they thought that the slave was going to be self-sufficient after slavery. I think
They see black folks is what do you call that? They seen them as something for them to help gradually along the way forever. Like we're gonna hold your hand and walk you and educate you through life, and we're gonna show you how to do certain things. Like they don't see black folks as something as being self sufficient, not needing anything, and gradually progressing. They don't see them like a basket case. That's how they see African Americans. That's we need to hold them by the hand. Like I mentioned to you earlier today about there was a video on Twitter where they're walking through a plantation. This was an actual plantation back in slavery, and it's a museum now. And the lady was saying how the descendants of the slaves who slaved at this plantation are working there today. Like, when you think about that, like that was disappointing for me to hear, because that says that they look at you and they said you will never ever be anything greater than what we allow you or what we lead you to be. Black progression is solely based on how much the white man wants to do for them.
Dog, just like I mean, I heard, like, I saw some show, right? And there were, how like there's these slave tours in Ghana, right? These, like, the real, like, where the transatlantic slave trade happened. And
Right.
one of the questions were to the guy, he's like, how do you feel about, the black people being charged the same to take these tours than the white people are? And that was a question that had to be asked. I was like, my nigga, are you serious? Like, are you, like, I was just thinking to myself, it's like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, I would want to behead every white person that I come across if I went into a slave, or like, was it a place where they traded slaves, like, a dungeon and all that stuff. That would be like the last thing on my damn mind. Imagine if you went through a place where that, like, the people that were in your bloodline were passed through, tortured and shit like that. The slave castles, that's what it's called. Yeah, the slave castles. I would want to kill somebody. The fact that tourist attraction.
Yeah. Well, that's fine, right? From my standpoint, this is a business for tourism for them. That's fine. Again, I'm not gonna emotionally tie myself to the situation because it is what it is. Now, I'm aware that these people want to charge me money, a descendant of the slaves who were possibly in these dungeons. They want to charge me. But here, I'm going to ask myself this question. If they're going to charge me money to go in there, why do I still want to go in there?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to give them my money to go in there? What am I doing over here in the first place? I would ask myself, what am I doing over here?
I don't know.
So yeah, you, you
Hey,
got you. Yeah.
what
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
what I was thinking about is like the 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 chess game that they play. Um, Mark my word. There's two things. We already talked about the 14th Amendment. That is when ADOS kinds of starts turning on itself. As soon as a leadership like Yvette Carnell and Tariq them start getting a fight, I mean, it's coming. They're gonna. I mean, it's probably gonna be after the convention, which one of them is gonna feel like they're the headliner, and then the other one is gonna be told, "No, you're not the headliner." But that is coming. But they're gonna push a narrative. ADOS, and it'll be perfect for ADOS people. And they've already kind of sprinkled it in of how they're going to turn their attention on the African tribes that sold slaves, and that's going to be the overarching narrative to kind of split us apart. That's going to be sold pretty soon. And the other thing is going to be the birthright citizenship. They're going to really go after that, and that's going to be like I mean, once they see the ADOS like crumbling, that's going to be because when the lies stop working, you just start making up shit, and that's what they're gonna do. Mark my word, you guys. You guys heard me. The African tribe selling slaves. That's going to be a talking point that they're going to use pretty soon. And then the 14th Amendment. You guys you shouldn't even be American citizens. That when they're going to start questioning like first and second generation immigrants citizen status, and this is going to be straight from the white supremacists, and they're going to follow it. Mark my word.
Again, the same people who have the hidden agendas, who are not the same race as the people in the movement,
Yeah.
right? The majority of the people, they what they do is they know how to corral a group of black folks to fight for something, and then when it actually becomes legislation, it's not even what they fought for. And that's how come African Americans continue to say, "Oh, this was for us." No, you fought for it. You were the only one who fought for it, but the government gave it to everyone.
Right.
It's not for you, it's for everyone. It wasn't meant only for you. The American government will never pass legislation which positively benefit only black folks. It's not going to happen. This is wishful thinking. That is wishful thinking. So you have to be a man. You have to stand on your own 2 feet. You have to create change yourself. Okay? And turning against one another is definitely not that way.
Uncross your nuts, AOS people. You telling us, hold ours, but uncross yours. Because I think your nuts are real cross right now. But anyways, man, I got to get some work done, man. Dog, thank you for coming on there, man. I'm gonna end this, man. But we're gonna be live again this Sunday, man. Hey, make sure you guys check us out this Sunday. If you want to be on the panel, you guys can holler at me, man. Send me a message or something like that. Be on a panel and voice your opinion, man. Shout out to Belizean Bang. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that guy. Shout out to Big Yardy. You already know Yardy Boy. You know what I'm saying? My Caribbean folks in here. Shout out to Wigs and Wine. Wings and Wine. You know what I'm saying? A Janik. Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to, was it Bertram Kazanabon? Belizean Bang. That's my boy Yardy. Hey, first of all, I want to shout out to everybody out there, you know what I'm saying, for definitely supporting your boy. I just got monetized. Finally, YouTube is monetizing your boy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. Finally got monetized. But damn near every video that I have, they said it's not fit for advertisers.
Bro, Gotta create some advertiser friendly content then.
Hey, what's the topic, Arthur Bartlett? Man, I don't even know what the topic is, man. We just kind of freestyle. We just we I really want to dissect the leadership, just black leadership in general. Let's talk about the economics of black leadership, and I think that's going to. I mean, if we dissect, we're not pocket watching, but we got to talk about uh, the monetary reasoning why a lot of these guys are spitting their rhetoric and they're telling their tribe and what they're selling. I think it will make more sense to a lot of the non-ADOS people to figure out why these people are attacking us. If we can, because it makes it makes plenty of sense. It makes plenty of sense.
Hey, Arthur Bartlett, I'm gonna assume no, but I'm still gonna ask you. Are you ADOS?
I think he is ADOS. I think so.
Is he?
I think that's why I mean I don't want to. That's why I try to catch myself for painting people in a broad brush because I think there's a lot of ADOS people that are not ADOS. I mean they are for reparations. They really genuinely have a good intentions of this whole movement, but they don't like the toxicity of the movement, and I think they can see through the bullshit.
Right. And
Well,
MJ, that's a good question. Why is Tyreek in Jamaica right now? So,
I think it's more of a I think he's kind of low key trying to hang his
he
nuts.
messed up.
I think he's trying to hang his nuts. He's trying to kind of show like I think he's doing it in a very passive aggressive way because he's like in he's in a place where he probably won't get touched. I guarantee you he's not going anywhere that people are going to recognize who the fuck he is. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and even from one of the videos, he was like in a resort. He wasn't in Jamaica. You know, there's resorts that keep you safe.
Oh no, of course he ain't around no goddamn yardies or any. Come on, man. Let's be. I mean, he has internet connection. Come on, bro. I mean, let's keep it 1,000 on that. You know, come on, man. He said, "No, I'm from Barbados, but I have a U.S. citizenship." He's not ADOS.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to him, man. You know, they said that Barbados had the first known slaves or some shit like that. I think they were the first documented. I think documented slaves
From the 1500s, huh?
Yeah.
In the Caribbean, they said slavery started since the 1500s. So, I mean, no one's experience is more unique or more important than the others, man. We got to stop this. Like you play NATOs, but you have a blue passport. You can fly and travel the whole world. Your money is accepted pretty much everywhere.
Right.
You know, so I think that sets the stage for you to make some change. So y'all save that $1 trillion. Y'all don't need reparations. Come and spend that in Haiti. Come and spend that in Jamaica. Come and spend that in Africa.
Right.
Go and spend that everywhere.
Imagine the experience that we're sitting here talking now, and then we know that there's known slavery that's happening right freaking now in certain countries in Africa. We know that I don't even know what you call this modern day slavery, but we know the slavery is happening. Imagine being a slave when you know the whole country's looking and know that you're a slave and they're not doing shit about it. Imagine that feeling.
Right.
That's crazy, huh? Like America knows that there's slavery going on right now, and these niggas know that there's slavery going on right now. So I wonder when those people in Liberia right now are having when they have kids, are they the descendants of slaves?
In Libya, how about Libya?
No, I'm talking about Libya, not Liberia, Libya. Yeah. No, you know what's funny was, and I lived on this one. They said they call it chattel slavery. Like slavery has different levels. Chattel slavery is I don't even know what the hell chattel slavery is, but that's different. You know, you had
I heard that too a while ago.
You have antebellum antebellum slavery. You know, I think antebellum slavery, that sounds a little bit more refined. I think that they let the Negroes in the house and play like they were free, but they wasn't really free. Is that what it was?
The base word is slavery. So that's
so
you can
what
disguise it however you want to disguise
so
it.
what did the French people, what did they have? Did they have some type of different type of slavery? Did they have French slavery? Like, you know how you got different types of bread? They had, like, you know, you got French bread, you got Italian bread. What was our version of slavery?
Yeah.
Was it more remote? Was it more romantic?
Well, the fact that Haitians, yeah, exactly. The fact that Haitians had to fight for their freedom means that it probably was very church. It was a very hard type of slavery.
The guy said it was bonbon slavery. It was bonbon slavery. So they would be, so they would make you work bonbon slavery. I don't know what that. I mean, I guess our slavery is like, once, like, instead of lynching you, they put you in a guillotine. You know, instead. So that was a faster death or some shit. I don't even know. Anyways,
I do
man.
know one thing. I do know one thing. If you make death more important than life as a slave, slavery would not have gone as long as it did.
No.
If you were willing to die versus willing to be a slave, they would have stopped that ASAP because they would say these Negroes ain't willing to be enslaved.
Yep. You're right about that, man. But I got 2 thumbs down, man. But shout out to the people in
Oh
thumbs
man,
down, man. But
already, huh?
yeah, I'm out of here, man. I gotta call my wife. She probably mad as
Let
hell
me go
at me.
put a thumbs up.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Holla at your
All right,
boy,
bro.
bro. All right.
All right.
Hey, man. Salute to everybody in the room, man. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Thank you guys for, giving me the time and listening to my rants. Me and Slow Traveler, we're gonna be this Sunday. If you guys want to get me, then send me a message, man, and I'll get you on the panel. Send me your email or something like that, man. Put that in the comments or something like that. But I'll let your boy, man. I'm out of here, man.